when you get people who say, I don't know what concepts to shoot, or I don't know what to shoot next.
Yeah.
That kills me inside, because I want to kind of wish for them to develop a framework in order to create concepts within themselves, or to look within and figure out what it is that they want to shoot. Like, is there a process in which someone can go through to figure out what it is they genuinely want to shoot without asking that question outward? You know?
Interesting. My first inclination would be to copy.
Yeah.
Go and grab 20 images from your favorite people and go and like that to me should be the first step, should it not? Like to go and replicate, because in the process of replicating, you're going to screw it up. You're going to find where you naturally want to take something. But I feel like people ask, you tell me this, people ask how I can be creative. How do I formulate ideas when they haven't yet developed the muscles? Like their creative muscles are not developed yet.
100%, for sure. The same thing goes for Photoshop, right? Because they'll capture a file, or they'll capture a photograph, and they'll take the raw file into post-production, and they'll ask, how can I do this? Or how do you edit a raw file?
Yeah.
And for me, the way that I edited a raw file in the beginning, and the way that I learned these things, was playing around with it. I literally didn't look to anyone else and say, how did you actually edit that photograph? I would go and play with the sliders and say, what is the slider doing?
Yeah.
And why is it doing that? And just get a better physical understanding of what's happening. And then I had my answer. It wasn't, here are the particular settings and steps in order for you to edit the raw file.
Yeah.
That everyone should do. But here's what the sliders are doing. And let me understand that first before I edit. It's like taking a test. You have to understand the concept of what it is that thing is doing to explain it, and also understand what to do with the raw file. So the answer can often come from within again. Like, just by playing with it, you end up understanding what to do with the raw file, because you understood what it does and you told yourself, now I know what to do with the raw file.
For sure. I mean, and going back to that whole cooking analogy, you know, when someone asks how they can be creative, it's, if you're approaching cooking, you're not going to be like, you know, how do I just formulate my own dishes? You're going to go and find recipes. And then with enough time and muscle memory, you start to realize, hey, you know, paprika would be good in this. And you start to kind of create your own recipes out of the things that you're learning and whatnot. But that to me should be the process of like going and like developing these muscles first versus the thought of, I don't know what to shoot next. It's insane.
The muscle analogy is actually really great, because we think of concept building as a linear thing, or like a binary thing where it's either on or off. But it's kind of like when you're retouching a photograph and you're learning how to see what to fix, that muscle as well gets better over time. And it's not one day you learn it and one day you don't know it. It's an eventual growth. And I never really thought about creativity like that, where the creativity is a muscle that grows through nurturing it. And it's not going to happen immediately once you understand how to be creative. It will grow